Okay, so this is why your trading coaching offer is going to fail. My name is Christian. So the first reason as to why this is going to happen is because you don't have the right skills to make this happen. You actually don't have the proper skills to build a coaching business if you just learn how to trade. Or if you just know how to trade. That's it. That's really what it is. That's really what it is, chat. It's really what it is, honestly. So, and like what I mean by the right skills is the first right skill. It would be. Let me give it a second. Actually getting to learn sales, and actually being good at this to some extent. Like actually having this decent to some extent, and I mean this because if you can't make a sale, like even like a $400 sale on like some low product, small ticket product, you're not gonna make money. It's just not gonna happen. Especially in the info space / high ticket space, it's very important that you make sales. It's actually really important. There's no way you're gonna make money, and the reason for this is because once you sell them on something, we're gonna go fast because I know you don't have that much time. You can upsell them on different things. You could upsell them on a higher package. For example, like 7th level, they have 2K, 4K, 5K, 20K packages. They have more than just one package, and the tiers, they're more advanced. And that's what happens when you get them into a sale. Now, if you can't make a sale, you can't do any of those things. And because of, I'll give you some insight as well, because you've already sold a prospect on, let's say, like a 2K package, let's say like something that's already like $2,000. Okay, 2K. You could sell them on something that's 4,000, 5,000, 6,000 because you already have that rapport with them. And because they already know you. That's something that, not a lot of other, not a lot of other people are really doing in the space from what I know. And second thing is actually, I would even dare to say this is even more important than sales, is getting traffic. And I mean this wholeheartedly because there's so many offers that don't know how to do this. And because of this, your employees, your setters, your closers, it's shit because there's no traffic. And you can have the best sales rep on the team. You could have the fucking guy who's going to crush it no matter what. But if you can't bring in traffic, and I'm serious, if you can't fucking bring in traffic, you're going to get fucked. Because there's no one to sell to. There's no one to actually speak to. And your sales reps are going to churn. And your sales reps are not going to tell you this, but they're going to want to tell you this, but they don't want to work with you anymore because you can't bring in traffic. And yet you could go on the team meetings and be like, no, we got like traffic coming in. We have this and that, but it doesn't fucking matter. What matters is if you actually get the traffic. The proof is in the fucking pudding. If you can obviously, there's so many fucking ways. Please, if you're gonna work with someone that's gonna operate your stuff, do not rely on them if they're gonna say that's their job. My job is backend systems. No. You could do ads. You could do content. You could fucking do all these different things. You could go out on the street and say you have a fucking coaching offer. Idea of it is you need to get traffic. I cannot emphasize how important this is because if you don't get traffic, you're not gonna get no one, bro, or woman, or I don't know who you're watching, like Optimus Prime. I'm serious. I'm very fucking serious about this. Your sales reps are gonna turn. No one's gonna want to work with you, and it's gonna be ass. It is. Okay. And the third reason, and I put 5 right here, but okay, the third reason is you don't know how to keep a good relationship with different clients, especially if you're in trade. So client, you can say CSM, no client relationship. This is a relationship, okay? So look, most people in the space, in the info space, they get the sale, guy comes in the program, we onboard them, kickoff call, that's it. Ends right there. There's no accountability, there's no real relationship with the client, there's no nothing at all. And because of this, it's going to make it a lot harder for you to upsell your clients. It's going to make it a lot harder for you to, have a connection with them. And it's also going to be a lot harder for you to get testimonials because there are no testimonials. Because there are quite simply no one that you actually speak to. And this is the fucked up part. A lot of, people in the space have, they're like, if they don't join for this amount of price, they can't, and it's fucked. And they should pay, but your goal should be to help them. And if you can't form a good relationship with your clients, the people you onboard, you're cooked. You're really fucking cooked. I mean, your closer could do this. The client success manager could do this, but they need to do it because, bro, in any fucking other business, like, oh my gosh, I was gonna say OFM, yeah, but even in OFM, like, I have some friends that do OFM, right? They know that they need to keep a good like client relationship with their fans, otherwise they're not gonna make any more sales. But there's no fucking way guys in OFM know this and you don't. It's fucking crazy. Anyways, that's like the third reason. The fourth reason for this one is actually having really shitty systems. I mean, I can't put this on YouTube. I don't give a fuck. Only the real people are gonna watch this. So, and I mean having really, really, really shitty systems. And what I mean by this is having really shitty systems. Like, if you don't know how to, if you're just a trading coach, right? If you don't know how to create integrations or, funnels or this, and that, just a bunch of nerdy shit, your coaching offer is going to fail because it needs those operating systems. Like, it really, really fucking does. This could literally be the simplest thing, like, in the world. This could be, like, after they, booking a call on your calendar or closers or whoever's calendar, they get on a call with XYZ and they get directed to an actual VSL page or something. It's not that hard. And by the way, if you're making your setters, like, run the fucking mile, it's not bad. And what I mean by this is, like, them messaging up with them, but it's not necessary to, like, make them fill out all these handoff forms, all these different little things, because you could automate these things and it can make it go a lot further, a lot faster, and it could really just make you more money. So much fucking more money, bro. Like, it's not your setter, his job is maybe, like, set the call, but his job or his closer, it's not for them to fill out sheets or any of this stuff. It's literally for them to just fucking make the sale. Like, all these fucking like, long ass EOD forms where you have to it's not fucking that gets fucked. Like, bro, like, oh my gosh, I'm sorry, but you know what I mean. So, in the fifth one, and by the way, please give all your closers and setters their own, not closers, setters, but yes, give them access to each other's calendars, so that they don't fucking have to run around and ask, hey, whose call is this 5 times? You don't want that. And you don't want your team to be confused, and your team is going to get confused if you don't have really good systems. It's just how it works. Now, the fifth reason is actually operating with a good team. And what I mean by this is actually having the vibes, bro. You need to have the vibes. If you don't have a good team dynamic, man, it's gonna get fucked. When I was setting for someone, for a different closer, like, a long time ago, like in January, I really felt that I had a good team dynamic with them. It was like a duo. And I mean, if your team doesn't have that level of commodity, then it's possibly going to be a lot harder for you guys to communicate. Because, as you know, in any relationship as well, communication is key. And you guys need to be able to communicate in a way where you're comfortable with each other, where you guys are not bringing any sales resistance onto each other. It's fucking stupid. Like, and what I mean by this is actually having the skill set to communicate without being confrontational, without making the other person feel uncomfortable. Because this is something that's really overlooked. This happens a lot. And maybe you're doing it. And because you're doing it, your setters, your closers, or whoever, they don't want to respond to you right away because they feel like, oh, fuck, they go into fight or flight. You might be like, oh, we're business. They're still human. It's still human nature. If you're and there are ways to disarm them, right? But like this is like NBQ. But like if you are doing that, your team is not going to want to respond to you. They're going to feel like, I don't know, it's just they're just not going to want to talk to you. That's the last thing you want. I mean, I think honestly, like if you don't have your team wanting to speak to you, then you're fucked. Cuz like that's your team, bro. And please, like for the love of everything, make sure you're treating your team properly. Like just because they're a setter or closer, does like obviously they're making different money, they have different roles. However, you have to treat them like with respect because there are so many people in the space that just because they're a setter get treated like dog shit because they're just a setter. And the growth operator has this big ass fucking ego, and it's just this matters. Probably we're humans, bro. We're like at the end of the day, like we're all just humans. So you have to treat your team with respect, and I mean this a lot. If you cannot treat them with respect, they're not going to treat you with respect. And if you can't treat them with dignity, they're not going to fucking want to talk to you. Even if you are making like 100K, 200K, they're only there for you because you're making money. They're not there for you because they really care about you or because they even want to work with you. They don't give a fuck about you. They only care about you because you're making money. I mean, that's what's going to happen if you don't respect your people. They're not going to be loyal to you. They're not going to want to be sincere with you. They're not going to want to tell you things that they wouldn't tell anybody else because they don't have that actual connection with you. So, yeah, this is the reason your trading coaching business will fail. Now, these are, may or may not, because I have no idea where you are, but this may or may not be an issue or the situation that you're in right now. How to solve this, it's, you get all these things fixed. Pretty self-explanatory. You hire a sales manager. You get good closers, setters. You source them out. I'll be the first guy to tell you this, but there's probably one guy that's doing cold outreach to you who's really good at closing or setting. And he's just fucked by the industry because he doesn't have enough money to invest into the next fucking community so that he can maybe get a job. But there are real people with real talent in the space that are probably outreaching to you. And you got brainwashed by the fucking internet by saying it's not through quote outreach. Maybe there is, bro. You know, it's hard just being a setter closer when you have limited opportunity. It's hard when your fucking coaching growth operator has any fucking idea what's going on sometimes. It's hard when you know the issues of the business more than anybody else as a setter closer. So if you have a setter closer reaching out to you, you know, just give them a like, just give them a look. You know, you may or may not see what you're looking for. But yeah, definitely sales, getting a good sales team. Either you can learn to run ads yourself, you can learn how to do that yourself and spend all your money on ads, or you can get someone else to do it for you, but you get someone else to actually do it for you. Client relationships, with this, you can either learn to be really good with people or, you know, build really good rapport with people or have somebody else just do that entire thing for you. That's up to you. And then having really shitty systems. Obviously, with this one, it's, you know, just you could fucking figure this out on your own. You could do it on your own, or you can have someone else do it for you. You know, it's kind of like, I was going to say an analogy. Actually, yeah. It's kind of like when you're trying to write something down with your nail because you don't know how to write just yet versus if someone gives you a pencil and they just give you the right tool to just write with. You know, which one do you feel is actually going to get further when it comes to writing their thoughts on a piece of paper? The guy that's trying to write his name with the nail, or if someone were to go up to that guy and just give him a pencil so he could write his name? Like, which scenario do you feel he would get further? If you said the second one, it's because you're right. Because if someone gives you the pencil, you could just start writing with it. It's a lot more efficient. Same thing with this. And also operating with a good team. You know, if you're not liking the people, you have to actually talk to your people, bro. Like, I'm being for real with this one. Like, this is a people skill game. You know, like, operating with a good team, Find someone that will actually understand you, understand your goals, understand where you want to be in life, understand why you even started trading or why you even started a trading coaching offer, and see if they even have what you're looking for. They may or may not. You know, it's not just about, we'll make you X amount of money. You sound like every other person trying to sell me something. If you're you can tell me, you'll make me X amount of money. Anybody else can make me X amount of money. Why should it be with you? You have to just, go with someone that you feel understands you, and that could possibly, bring out the best in you, and the best in your offer, and that also understands all the issues that are coming up with the offer itself. Because there's a lot of people in this space that don't have a fucking idea of how the offer is going, and have no damn fucking idea what they're doing. So just team up with someone who you feel understands you, and most importantly, who you feel understands your goals and as to why you don't want to get there and what's holding you back from getting there. And actually having the solution to solve that thing that's holding you back, and making sure that doesn't hold you back anymore so you can get to the next level. And that's the solution. That's the video. If you felt this helped you out in any way, you could DM me on Instagram, tell me exactly how you felt it did. Or if you felt that it didn't, obviously you don't got to send me anything. And if you liked it, if you've helped it out, if it helped you out in some way, like, subscribe. You could give a comment on how you feel about it. And if you feel that by watching me, you felt that I resonated with you in some way, and you possibly want to talk with me or even work with me in some way, I have no idea if it would be the right thing for you just yet, though. Then you could send me a DM and on Instagram or through my email. I'll link it below, and we could look up potential next steps.